Ready? Mute myself here, and welcome everyone to another RSG live stream. I am Finity, and yeah, I know you were expecting Ranger. Things change. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties here getting the new skin set up that you guys can see here. Ranger's computer decided that it was going to go haywire when we were trying to run it, so you are seeing it from my side today. And I am joined by some of our regulars, so I think he's here with us. Mr. Sir Loki, are you here? I don't know if Sir Loki's here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm driving, but I'm here.
There we go. So we have one of the regulars there with Mr. Sir Loki. We also have one of our regulars from our lunch stream, Mr. Grimm. How are you doing, Grimm?
Other than I have a mouthful of egg roll, I'm doing great.
This is not the lunch stream. You are too used to the lunch stream, my friend. And we have Mr. Van Seal, who is Ranger's new Battlefront 2 buddy. How are you doing, Van Seal?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Well, I'm doing okay, considering last-minute streaming necessities here. And then lastly, one of the up-and-coming YouTubers. He's joined us on a few other streams and answered questions for you guys on the lunch stream. It is Mr. Zylo SWGOH Takedown. Mr. Zylo, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Finn. Thanks for having me on the show too, brother.
Of course. So, Ranger should be joining us here shortly. He is working on getting everything kind of squared away with his computer. In the meantime, though, we can go ahead and start some of the machinations. Now, we're missing a few people, just so you know. So Grande is currently traveling, so he is not able to make it, and I believe Tits is spending some time with her family, and so she's not here either. So just some of the RSG crew not here today, but we will trudge on. So let's go ahead and I guess get started here. I need to pull up make sure I can actually see the agenda that I put together earlier, because now I'm looking at it from the other side. So we did the introduction, so we will do shoutouts here shortly, but if you want to have your name shouted out, make sure that you type something into the chat. I already see Mateus Cavalcanti already is working on it, so go ahead and type shoutout. We can only go by what YouTube gives us, just so you know. So whatever they tell us is the list of participants. That's all we are reading for the shout out. So make sure you guys type in there, get yourself a shout out. We'll be reading that shortly. So type that in there while we discuss things. We have some changes, as you can see. So one of them is we have a new skin that we're working on. In the top left, you'll see that we have a video going. It's not your typical video of the week. We have now decided that one of the things we want to do is promote a little bit more in terms of the community. And so because of the community, what we are doing is community videos of the week. So the video you see there is by Dylar Twilight Tactics. We have a link to it in the credits of the video, so you guys can check it out there. But we're going to try and shout out more people from the community and get some of their videos a little bit more exposure, because that's what this is all about, right? Where it's kind of a really tight-knit community and we want to promote everybody else's content as well. So we'll be doing more community videos of the week with that. The other thing, in the description, there is a link to the podcast. The podcast is now audio. We have worked on it. It should just be audio now. I know one of the issues was that it was like 2 GB file sizes because it was videos beforehand. That is now changed. So we are now looking at audio only in the podcast store. There is a link there, so go ahead and check that out as well. And at the bottom, you will see that we have a lot more graphics and animations. So it's a good thing that we have Grim on today. So Grim is working with our new logo, which you see in the bottom left there. It's a little bit more sleeker design, and he has created some animations with it. So when you see the RSG words and the logo pop up and all the spinning, that is all Grim. So Grim, thank you very much. Really appreciate all the work that you do. And then, of course, the artwork is Silverbolt's as well. So, Grim, I know you were kind of working on this beforehand. So what was it that that you really wanted to, that really caused you to do that, to make all the graphics for us? Because we appreciate it.
Well, I've been self-teaching myself some of the 3D program stuff, and I was like, I can't really donate money to you guys, so why not donate some artwork for you guys?
And we appreciate it. And we love when you guys give us these kind of things so we can incorporate them. We try at least to incorporate them. So, yeah. And I think Ranger is back with us now.
Yes, I am. It's OBS, man. It is freaking out. I don't know what's going on with it. I literally cannot move anything in OBS. You know, like all of those separate windows. I try to click on it and nothing's happening. That's what, something weird has happened. So I don't know if I need to re-download OBS or what the hell's going on.
All right.
I'm serious. It's really freaking me out.
Yeah, I know. We'll figure it out, because I know you wanted to do some more Battlefront stuff later. So we'll have to work on it. For this stream, are you able to gather questions now for us, Ranger, in the chat?
I don't know what I'm able to do right now, so I wouldn't count on that.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on here.
Okay. So I will try my best to collect the questions as we're going through the topics and whatnot. Trying to do...
We got Grim here. You can help, right?
Grim, are you able to collect questions for us? Somebody.
Oh, Lord.
Pop out the chat.
It's okay. I think I can get it together. I just need to grab it. Okay. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do shout-outs, because I don't want to lose all the people that have been shouting out. So let me get that. And again, we don't have Mr. Grande Patron here to read them, so I guess I will read them as best as I can, and hopefully it's not a big freaking mess. So we start out with number 2. We always have number 2. Number 2 is number 1. It's just the way it worked out, I guess. Then we have Mr. JVU420. And then we have Ali Boba and the 40 Rebels. Let me see here. Okay. We have Artorius Draknight, Addix Mathma, Bad Rongo, Bimasu, Captain Blackbeard, Censored Cactus, Chris M. Rock. This is Chris Rock. I like that. Clone Troop 211, Darth Hideous, Devil's Treasure, Dark Brito, DSP, Fatality V2, Force Master 77, G-Man, I Am the Batman. We have Batman with us, Ranger.
I'm Batman.
Mm-hmm. I am the Batman, not just I am Batman. Jason Hommel, John Moran, Keith Constantino, Keyboard the Planet Eater. Please feed her. She's hungry. I know she's hungry, so somebody feed her.
Number two just donated $19.99. Thank you so much for the donation. Number two.
Your
stock is rising, number 2.
Listmeister, Mostef Isley, Nathaniel Morgan, Night Elf JS, or is it Night Elf Jays? I'm not sure how you want to pronounce it. So, and then we have Reaper, Silverbolt, Sith Lord, Slash Van Rhodes, and let me see who else. I know we had Walter Arnold listed there. I think that's everyone that's showing up on the list right now. So if I missed you, I apologize. I will try and catch you as we see it. I see Corey Dahlmeyer asking for a shout out. Darth Talon, Jeff B1 Jernobi. I know I didn't read that one. Let's see, who else did I miss as I do a quick scan here? I think that's everyone. Yeah, I think I managed to get everyone there. So thank you all for coming out, and Mateus Calvancanti, who I shouted out earlier, but I will do it again here. So apologize for the lag. It is my computer and my internet is less than Ranger's, unless Ranger can get his going somehow. Let me see.
I'm trying, but
I know.
This is really freaking me out. I cannot click anything inside the windows for OBS to move things or anything. I don't know what the hell this is.
It might be because they're locked. You know, click the little padlock next to them.
Let me look.
Is the audio lagging or just the video? Let me ask that. As long as it's just the video, we can deal with it. So if you guys can let me know, is it just the video or is it the audio as well? Because I think audio should be fine.
Okay, I think I got this fixed. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to run your new little thingy, Finn.
Okay.
Stream's not lagging at all for me.
The video is lagging. I can see it lagging a little bit. I think the audio is fine though. But in the meantime, we will do our Twitter question. And the question is, what character do you want to see dominate in the heroic 6th triumvirate raid, and why? So we're looking for a character that you want to see that does well. Everyone is trying to work on different teams that are going to hopefully succeed and do more than their 2% and hopefully do 4%. Like everyone aspires to be Jedi Training Rey, and they want to get all that stuff in. So hop onto our Twitter. You'll see it kind of jump onto the screen now. So that's the neat thing about this new skin, which I like. We can get more information kind of there. And so, Ranger, let me know. Okay, so audio is fine, slight lag in the video. Okay, so I apologize for that. It's just the way the internet is for this, because mine isn't designed for 720 as I've tried to get it, but it just doesn't. So, Ranger, if you get yours up, let me know, and then we can switch off.
Yeah, give me a second.
Mm-hmm. So, it may get better. It may get better. All right. So, let's go ahead and start going through some of this, because we do have a lot that we need to go through. And the first thing is there was an update, like just now, like half an hour ago. There was an update. So, let me go ahead and bring that up on the screen here. And I will work to get it in proper place. Not sure why it's not loading. There we go. All right. So let me just click on this. See if I can get this to work properly.
I think we might be cooking with Crisco,
Reality
guys.
Scoop Gamers has
No,
spent
that's
more
not
than
what
1
I
year.
wanted at all. You're cooking? You're cooking with Crisco? Because I'm trying to get this browser thing to work. This is a fun stream for you guys. You guys get to see all the stuff that we normally try to do before the stream, and then all of a sudden have chaos happen. Alright, so let me actually do this because I have a better idea to get this to work. Hooray! Alright, try one more time here. If I can get... There. Come on, load. Okay. In any case.
Okay. I think I've got it, Finn.
You think you got it?
But I don't know how. I don't know if we can.
Yeah, you can.
Switch
Just
over.
Get ready to start streaming. Okay, we are going to try and switch over here to Rangers. So bear with us as we switch.
Oh, I see a ranger.
Should be streaming now, right?
Yep.
You are.
Okay.
You are up.
There we go. Now, continue on, Finn, and start getting everything going while I get caught up on Skype and stuff. Holy bejesus.
We try to have some backup plan so we can at least keep going, but oh man, it's yeah.
I got this.
Darth Hideous. There's that familiar ginger goatee.
What? Well, that's enough for the stream tonight. Everyone say goodnight. Get that crap.
All right. So we have the latest update that came out just about half an hour ago, I think. Yeah, just about half an hour ago, and it's actually edited. Actually, it's an hour ago now, and it's edited half an hour ago. I'll go ahead and start reading it, Ranger. I guess you can pull it up here. It's the 321
content update. 321.
Yep.
Give me a second. I'm pulling it up.
So we'll go ahead and start reading here, and some of it we'll just kind of go through each one and just discuss it here. So this is from CG Leviathan. Hey, Holotable Heroes. Here are the update notes for 3/21/2018 content update. So events. Some of our favorite heroes return in these rare and exciting legendary and heroes journey events. So it's not just Jedi training Rey, people. Luke's hero's journey is returning tomorrow. Event begins 3/22, ends on 3/28. All right, let me just start there here. So, and they're also bringing back the R2 event and the Mythic events for it. But I gotta ask. Let me start off with Xylo, because I think you're the newer one of the group here in terms of how long you've played. So, how do you feel about all of these sudden mentions that these events are returning? CLS, I know this is like the third time now, so it's not like it's new, but it is still kind of returning 1 day early with notifications. So how do you feel about the way they're giving notifications and for these legendary events, or these journey events, I should say?
Who you talking to, Finn?
Xylo.
Xylo?
Xylo?
Okay. How about Vincere?
Sorry, excuse me.
Is he there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, barely.
I think he's here.
Xylo, yeah.
Barely, brother. Turn up your volume.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut this Bluetooth off real quick. 1 second.
Technical difficulties for everyone.
You know, and I was so proud because I'd fixed the chair. I got some WD-40. You don't hear the squeaking anymore and everything. I mean, I don't know what this is.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So to start, I've been playing a little since after The Force Awakens came out. So, you know, I love all the new hero events and everything when they came out. I got my CLS the first time around. I got my Jedi Rey first time around. But to note the cadence and the timing, or the way that they released the events for, you know, other players looking from their perspective, you know, I'd be a little more upset because, you know, they didn't kind of give more of an advanced notice. You know, like maybe a couple more weeks, like a week or two in advance would be a little more helpful and get people more prepped for the actual event so they can collect those heroes characters. That's my opinion anyways.
Well, it's kind of like ready, set, go. Here's Luke, go.
Yeah,
Paddock
exactly.
Farm, go.
I agree with that. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of other players who've been working towards, you know, all of the legendary characters like Thrawn, CLS, Rey, all those big characters that you need and have, you know, such very specific requirements with those tunes. A little more heads up for the community would be a lot better, and you wouldn't get such a negative response from it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand this at all. CG, you've lost me with this one. It's not like these characters have not been in the game before. So announcing that, and I know why you're doing it. You can try to spin it however you want. You're doing this for money, and it's really starting to get annoying. It really is. I'm getting sick of this crap. These are characters. They're legendary characters. Let people know ahead of time. You know what you'll make more money doing? People trying to farm these characters and get them up in crystals and things of that nature. But you seem to think if you announce it a day before, even though you announce everything else, that you can force people to buy crystals. Because they'll panic farm because they need these characters because they're important characters, and it's a bunch of baloney. You knock this crap off. You're going to you're turning people off to your game. People see this crap. I mean, I have all these characters, so it doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? We kind of, the Jedi trading rate thing kind of threw us a little bit, but we're like, oh, well, I mean, it is what it is. It's not what it is anymore. I don't understand why you can't announce ahead of time, a week or two. Surprising people a day before. Oh, by the way, Luke, go. It's bullshit. Damn.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, the worst part about it is we just had this occurrence happened not even 2 weeks ago with Jedi Ray. So the community exploded about that with them releasing her out of cadence and not giving a heads up in advance. So you think they would have kind of caught that with the Jedi Ray?
They don't learn. And if this is what you're going to keep on doing, I guarantee you this game's going to die. People don't like that crap. Not having any kind of idea or notice because you can't get your cadence right and pull your head out your ass and give people at least somewhat of a shot of farming characters. They're trying the best they can, but I mean, newer players, you're kind of letting them all over the place. Why? So they can spend more money? Is that your plan? When no one can get the characters, they can't. If they got the panic farm, they're not going to, you may get some people that do that. A lot of people just get turned off. Tits is turned off. One of our RSG crew, because of the crap you guys pulled, she was working on doing veterans. As best she could, being free to play somewhat. And she spent a little bit of money. And she was going to invest some into those. And you guys destroyed it. So don't take my word for it. When your revenue starts going down, don't blame us. You're the knuckleheads that keep doing dumbass shit like this that makes people upset. I mean, I'm sitting here, I cannot fathom what in your mind thought, if we had just announced it a day before Luke Skywalker, it'll be super. You got some stupid ass people leading you over there. I'm serious. I've never heard of any kind of game doing this. Every other game announces ahead of time. We're doing Battlefront and other games. You know ahead of time what is coming. And they still seem to make a profit. So if Blizzard and all those companies can do it, why the hell can't you? Maybe you guys need to have a chat with them and learn how to do a goddamn game. Unbelievable. I mean, God damn. I can't believe this. And for all you guys that were trying to get up to farm CLS, and don't blame us, CG, because we've had people in directions, but you can only farm so much and you can only focus on one thing. Surprising people out of the blue a day before something comes out is just retarded and ridiculous. Shame on you. Shame on you, CG. Absolutely.
It's not a new tune either. It's
no! It's not like we haven't had a CLS event before or JTR event before. If it's a new character...
Yeah.
Like something brand new that we've never seen before. Okay, cool. It is what it is. Although they pulled that Thrawn crap with us where it was 3 days before. You would have thought after Phoenix crap that happened, where Thrawn 3 days before are characters that were only pay to play, that they would learn their lesson. They have not learned their lesson. They seem to think if they cause panic in the community that they can get money. I dare you to come debate me on this, CG. I got facts on my side. I'll burn your ass on that.
Yeah, and they were doing so well. Hey, let's do an AMA. Even though it didn't, they didn't answer too much, they still start communicating, and then they pull this shit. We keep on asking them, communicate with us, communicate with us. And then they do, here's the event. You have 1 day to farm your stuff. I mean, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry,
I'm completely baffled. I mean, Finn, I hope you're not going to try to talk me off the ledge on this one, man. Because Finn's the voice of reason usually. He usually comes in and says, Ranger. I'm like, oh, man, damn it. Finn's right.
Hey, maybe this is why Stormtrooper Han is the login character now.
It makes
So
perfect sense.
So they had to pull the event out of their ass to justify why he was the event login character.
Loki,
I don't know.
Jump in, brother. Jump in, Loki. I didn't even know you were there, Loki.
I got nothing else, man. That's all I need to say. I'm baffled.
Does anybody think that
they have a calendar, right, on the forums, but they never fill it out with anything.
We've raved about it. I love the calendar.
I don't even know why they have a calendar. They should just have, like, I don't know. They shouldn't even have it. I mean, why even bother with it?
Change. It's like you're not giving.
I mean, nobody cares about the other events. Like, I mean, what they're gonna announce?
If you can announce
the
territory
Dathomir event.
Yeah, both the Dathomires and the Wicked events 2 times,
I don't know.
but then you're gonna throw a random hero's journey in the middle of that right away at 2 days in advance. No.
Yeah, I want to chime in on this.
CJ ain't gonna apologize. I'll do it for all you new players out there that just got sideswiped by that one. I mean, CLS is you got to have a CLS, and if you guys that were working hard and trying to get him ready and farming him, hey, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
it's so weird to have it released too in like the middle of the week.
I don't understand it.
Yeah,
a day notice.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
I mean, event begins 3/22, ends 3/28. That's just mind-boggling.
I mean, a day's notice makes it look like they made this decision to release CLS like a day or yesterday.
They're just sitting there drinking, like, what do you want to do today? How about to release CLS? CLS? No, we can't do that. Yeah, we could do that. And then some guys
that'd be so funny if we
make
released
a lot
CLS.
of money doing that. Oh my God, that's brilliant. We'll do it. Let's do it.
You want me to be a voice of reason?
No,
or
I don't,
attempt
Finn.
to be
I'm
here?
hoping you're not, because I'm really upset.
There's only one thing that I can say in terms of trying to be a voice of reason.
It's that they say don't be a voice.
I wish
of
they
reason,
told us this. So I again, this is all predicated on the fact that I wish they told us this. But based on what they did with Ray and what they're doing now with Luke, it looks like they're changing it. So remember that we've only had one hero prior to Ray, right? And it was Luke. Luke came out on August and then came back in December. So that was where everybody came up with the notion of a 4-month repeat cycle, right? So everyone was assuming 4 months based on just the single 1 point.
Right.
It is possible that they said, well, 4 months is too long for characters that are pretty much in the meta constantly at this point. So let's reduce the cadence from 4 months to 3 months.
Fine.
And if you look at the timing of the Luke event and the Ray event, they're now 3 months separated from their last release. Now, if they might have done that with good intentions, trying to allow people to get those characters faster. Problem is, they didn't communicate it, and it looks bad.
Yeah, I don't.
So it's not. I'm not trying to defend them necessarily on this, but what I'm seeing is that it looks like they changed the cadence to go from 4 months repeating based on just a single event that we had with Luke to a 3-month repeating cycle. And while that would be good if they gave us notice, the lack of notice just makes it just seem awful.
It's just crap down the throat of everybody. It really is. I mean, I don't understand how you can communicate everything else. If you want to change it to a 4-month to a 3-month, even if people know in advance, months in advance, they still got to farm the characters. Let's say you put it out 2 weeks from now. That's still enough notice for someone that hasn't been working on it to at least give it a shot. A day or 3 days is just garbage, and there's no defending this. If you want to change,
there is actually. Let me ask Loki something, because Loki brought this up, and I was going to ask this, and I see Sanely read. Shout out to Sanely, because I think I missed him earlier. Asked this too. So Loki, the question is: do you think that this is all part of a push in order to boost their end of fiscal quarter numbers?
Absolutely. It
makes sense to me. I can't explain anything.
Now again, that's if they're running on a fiscal year, right? I mean, normally, I don't know if U.S. based companies run on a fiscal year. I work for a Japanese company, and they definitely work off fiscal year. And
most companies
you will see, so you will see a lot of March specials or a lot of big pushes to close out your fiscal year of 17, right? And then Fiscal year 18 starts April 1st. So I've said it numerous times in the streams. They always pull something out of their ass during March. I mean, we've been playing this game for this long already. It's the same song and dance. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it's this reeks of money grab. Let's impress the shareholders while we can, because we gotta give them a report here in the next week.
And it's unfortunately a big turnoff.
It is. I mean,
real quick too, before we push past this subject, this year, being in regards to so far a lot of like Dark Side and the Sith Raid and Jedi Raid came out in December, right? So now I also was listening to one of Nukin's podcasts that he posted recently, and he was also speculating that there might be the first Dark Side Heroes journey this year. So it could be a push to, get everybody to get CLS, get Jedi Ray, and then here in the next, 3, 6, 8 months, before the end of the year at the most, we could see a Dark Side Heroes journey too as well.
The thing I understand, if they put this out 2 weeks ago or beginning of March, say Luke's journey coming at March 22nd, and someone came on here and complained that they didn't have enough time, I've been like, sorry, you're wrong. I would have been on CG side. But this is just...
The reason they didn't do that is because if you put it out at the calendar at the beginning of the year, for people that don't spend money, you're giving them the option of either paying money to unlock Luke.
I hate to
or
tell you this,
JTR.
people that don't spend money and play your game are not going to spend money anyway. Damn.
That and you don't want to make it feel like a cash grab and make it seem like that. So the one thing that'll stop that is a week or two's notice. That is the simplest thing. That is it. No complaints would come around after that.
You can't. Well, there'd be some people complaining, but
yeah,
really don't.
It's just so obvious because they don't announce it, right? They don't announce it ahead of time because they got to push it out before April, and that's why they do this.
Right.
Out of the blue, Ray and Luke back to back. It's awful.
I mean, what you got to? Okay, so like with Ray, right? She's probably the worst one because you need
Veteran
a full
Han,
first
yeah.
order.
First order.
You need a full
BB-8.
first order. Yeah, and well, they also did BB-8 and Ray,
right
and
at
now
the same
they're doing
time.
Luke and R2. So
right.
And then R2, you need
Empire,
a full set of Empire, right? So they know what they're doing. I mean, that's how many?
I'm sure they're responsible.
Right?
Well, there's
That's
lots of
12,
people that've been waiting.
12 characters,
Sure there are people that have already farmed up the characters are waiting. But I mean, there's some people that are working on it that don't even have, they have no idea what is coming, and they're trying to do their best because you've created this monster of a game where you have to have all these different squads and diversity, right? It makes it to where you have to pick what you're farming, and you can only farm certain pieces at a time. And then all of a sudden, just to drop this on someone that was probably working on it, thought they had more time, it's just mind-numbing stuff, man. I mean, CG, for all the good stuff that you guys do, and I like a lot of the characters and the Sith Raid, and a lot of the great, you guys have done some great stuff, but then you just put it on the ground, take a dump, and then it's like we sit here scratching our head trying to figure out what in the hell you are doing.
That, and then to kind of pull Grande into the conversation here, even though he's not here. That's why Grande always preaches about, farming the requirements for your legendary characters and these hero journey characters, because you never know when they're going to drop it. Now, it seems like there isn't anymore.
But then that takes away from the fun, because now you have to get you have to get First Order, these rebels, this person for this, and these for this. You can't farm what you want to farm. You have to farm these first, just in case. You never know. Around the corner, like you said, they're going to drop something. And what fun is that?
Months. It takes months to get all those requirements and to gear them. It takes months.
What the sad part is? They had such a good opportunity to make good with the community based on that AMA.
They really did.
They know that the short notice was one of the issues, right? They could have just as easily
coming up to and did that AMA. That really pisses me off too.
Even if they wanted to wait until Monday, right? They could have just as easily came out and said, because this is going from the 22nd to the 28th, right? I think those are the dates. So they could have just as easily come out on Monday and said, we were planning on having Luke come out on the 22nd, but we know based on our conversations with you that it is too short notice. So we will push this a couple of days to get you more time, and it'll start on the 24th and will end on the 31st. They will still reach all of their end of March numbers that they need, and they would have made it seem like they were listening to the community and making, at least, even if it's 3 days, it's a good way of showing that you're at least listening. And they chose not to. They decided to give 1 day's notice.
And it also
Don't worry, there's
worse.
I was gonna say, don't worry. There's an accountant sitting up in CG's offices, going, "Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen."
Everything is going according to plan. It was I who allowed them to believe CLS.
we won't smoke these cigarettes.
Oh God, just ridiculous. All right, let's move on to. I mean, that's just the Luke stuff. So let's go through the rest of the stuff. Here we are pimping CG stuff, and I don't seem to care. All right, we got during Droid event becomes the 22nd to 28th. That's for and then we've got Mythic. So we'll be able to do the Mythic event for us guys. Congrats to us. Now this I did like. They added the Rogue One tag to all the Rogue One characters. Nice. You can put them as a one team Rogue One. You don't have to go through them with Rebels. See, this is the kind of stuff I like. They know they're listening. They do this, awesome. And then you go up here and you're like, okay, crap. Head up your ass, and you come in there. Oh, very smart. Thank you for listening. And this is like, what is happening? God. Darth Nihilus ability renaming in order to be more consistent with the Sith triumphant characters and their unique abilities. We're changing some ability names of the existing player version of Darth Nihilus. This does not affect any of the functional mechanics of any version of this character. Old name, Wound in the Force. New name, Lord of Hunger. I like that. Reason, follow Darth Sign and Trader's unique ability naming convention. Old name, Lord of Hunger. New name, Strength of the Void. Same thing. Replacement for Wound in the Force name change. Okay. Bundles and pack. Dark Lord bundle. Get 80 shards of Darth Vader with the Dark Lord bundle. Okay. Each bundle contains 80 character shards and a bunch of stuff with it. Bundle available today. It says 321. You get one purchase. Minimal level is 40. And if you bought it before, you can't get it again. Imperial Command Bundle. Pick up Colonel Stark, now available in the store for a limited time. This unit will strengthen your Empire squads and help your guild conquer the Imperial Retaliation territory battle on Hoth. Bonus, this bundle also includes credits, XP training boys, materials, all the yada yada stuff that comes with it. Colonel Shark shards are 40, one purchase, minimum 20 on your level. Same thing as before. Imperial Reconnaissance Bundle. Pick up Imperial Probe Droid, now available in the store for a limited time. This unit will strengthen your Empire squads, blah, blah, blah. Same thing as the, it's 40. That's not really going to help me. Same thing as Stark, so you're not, no changes there. Imperial Command Pack. Power up Colonel Stark. So that's the Crystal one, 5 to 330. We've seen this before. Building material packs is now in the store. This limited time pack will grant at least 9 Omega and 20 MK3 ability materials and may grant up to 25 Omegas and 50 MK. Is it 3? MK3s, yeah. Each
I don't see the odds of getting the different numbers. Just saying.
Each pack contains MK3, 20 to 50, 9 to 25. Well, Loki will get the 25. If we got it, Finn, we get the 9.
Yeah. The odds of disappointment are high.
It's 1,600.
Yeah, Loki gets 25, I'll get 6.
Yes, it's 1,699 crystals. Minimum level requirement is 70 plus. All right. You can purchase 1 a day. First Order Resistance and Empire faction packs updated. Several faction packs are being updated, including some of the new characters. The following First Order characters will be added to the First Order faction pack: Kylo Ren Unmasked, First Order Special Forces, and Executioner. The following Resistance characters will be added to the Resistance faction packs: Holdo and Rose. The following Empire characters will be added to the Empire faction pass, blah, blah, blah. Colonel Stark. All right. Shard Shuffle. The following content list below has rotated locations. Holdo is now available in the Chromium packs, so is Rose. So they are now in Chromiums. Okay.
The 4 First Order Executioner.
Let's see. See you on the holotable. Yeah, I don't understand that. How did the Executioner not get in there, but those two did?
I think Executioner's
I
already
don't
in.
understand their cadence at all.
The
Don't
cadence
forget
has got
Wicked and
the
Night
guys. The
Sisters are
cadence is
still
out the
nowhere.
door. The cadence is crap. I don't know why they ever say anything because they don't follow it, so it's crap. We're scrapping it. If they say anything, I'm going to call them out on it as baloney. It's no longer valid because this stuff just does not make sense anymore.
Yeah, because if they were following the cadence, we would have gotten Executioner in one of the farmable nodes today with today's patch, since they put Holdo and Rose in Chromiums.
Yeah, I just looked at Chromiums. Executioner's in Chromiums.
Oh, he's in
He
Chromiums, right?
Ago.
Yeah, but usually when they add new characters to Chromiums, the character that came out before them goes to a node.
That's what I'm talking about. The cadence is gone.
Right.
I wonder if there's changing it. Do you remember how the game was when it first came out? And how there were a bunch of characters that were just behind Chromium walls? Like Qui-Gon Jinn and like Ayla Sakura, and like there was a lot of characters that people used that were just behind the Chromium walls, right? What if they're going back to that as their model?
Oh, I hope not.
Because they said they're not adding anything to Squad and Galactic War.
Nope.
We know that Cantina is overloaded, right? We know that putting something in just hard nodes isn't going to be enough. So what if their new strategy is to return back to the days of Chromiums being where certain characters are?
Well,
and you have to wait months. Remember how long it took for Sunfac to come out and Rex to come out and Qui-Gon to come out? It was months, months and months. It's possible that's the cadence they're returning to, because that's what all of this really seems to be pointing to, unfortunately.
I hope not.
It's 6 months since Night Sisters came out.
I'm baffled. I'm greatly vexed, Finn. I'm greatly vexed.
On a positive note, they did a bunch of stuff for Grande, though.
A
bunch of French localization.
Oh, Lord. So those are all the pack and updates and everything. You can get Colorado and all those guys in packs now. That's good. Yeah. Awesome. All right, let's move on to the next thing, Finadoodle.
Let's go to our meta report.
Yield meta report. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Brought to you by Reality Skewed Gamers Educational Services.
That's
we
right.
provide you education because we don't have any ourselves.
That's true. You know, even though we have degrees and stuff, we don't. We're pretty dumb.
No, we need tits to teach Grande how to read.
Yeah, it's
we
crazy.
Can't run a stream without having.
They learned me how to spoke.
Mm-hmm. I didn't graduate 3rd grade for nothing, you know. Well, the meta report's trying to pull up. I don't know what's going on. The pie chart's not showing yet, but it looks like Emperor. No, there we go. Hold on. There we go. Oh, there's Palpatine in the lead. Jedi Training Ray is still number 2. Rex is 3. Not a lot of changes since last week. I don't see anything different on Yield meta report.
I am seeing a little bit of difference though on
Luke
the
is
all
flying
characters.
back up.
The all characters though.
The all characters.
So interestingly enough, Luke is no longer in the top 10 of all characters on squads.
That's weird because he's in the top 10 of
of leaders.
Yeah, interesting.
But he is not in all characters. Scion has now replaced him as number 10. Only by a few people, but Scion has now beaten out CLS in all characters.
Yeah, he's still a great character, you know.
He is.
You know, I mean, Thrawn still is 1, Kenobi's 2, Palpatine's 3, Nyla's 4, Vader 5, R2-D2, Han Solo, Jedi Turn. I mean, these are all characters that everybody pretty much uses for their PvP teams. You know, so there's no shock here. That Scion, I mean, CLS is kind of falling a little bit behind. I mean, you don't see, unless you're using him as a lead, as a character somebody has on the side, right? You don't see a lot of that. So unless you're using him as a leader, you know, a lot of these characters can be used as a leader or they can be used in the squad. So I think that's why you're seeing the difference with CLS.
Right, like your team, for an example, Ranger, like you CLS lead with Rex, right?
Yep.
So that right there is a perfect example because, like you said, you know, Scion's taking over that spot because more people are running him as like a 4th or a 5th now, as opposed to CLS being ran outside the leader lead. And kind of running the Titan composition without R2D2 now is a good way to go at Palpatine.
It's the only way, really. If you're using R2 to go against Palpatine, you like losing. I don't know
it's a bad idea.
It's not. It's
a really
bad,
bad idea.
It's a bad idea. It's not good, but it's bad. It's bad. It's really bad. So that's the meta report. Anything sticks out to any of you guys?
Other than somebody's using Rose as a leader, not really.
Yeah, well,
I saw that. I'm like,
it's somebody that put the 2 girls in a cup just at the end, just for the hell of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is Coruscant Underworld Police on there? On the all characters? I have a feeling
yes, it is.
Okay, well, there you go.
There you go.
There's the one.
Shard, and they were like, here, this one I'm going to put into my...
And there's the one Mob Enforcer. That's probably the team right there.
That's right, Sam.
Cup, Mob Enforcer, Rose's lead.
That's great.
Two girls, 1 cup. Awful. Just awful.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah. To each their own. Anything about the Yale meta report or anything that we want to get into here? I think it's kind of the same as before. Little changes here and there, but nothing much.
Yeah. We can go to the Zeta report now and just take a quick look at that.
Well, we can look at it. Yeah, we can look at the Zeta.
Yeah, Palpatine is now in the top 10. I think that's new from last week.
Yeah, he's gonna be rocking it up. R2's still number 1. Still a great Zeta. Darth Vader still number 2. CLS, then Han Solo. Han Solo is really climbing. CLS is dropping off, but Han Solo will never drop off. And you're going to start seeing Palpatine climb up quite substantially.
I think that is the fastest we've seen. I think a Zeta reached the top 10.
Yeah, everybody and their mom, including me, Zeta Palpatine. So
yeah, I mean, his leader is ridiculously good.
It's really good. Great in the territory battles. Not so much in the Sith raid. In fact, it's poo. But territory battles, territory wars, arena. I mean, jeez. I mean, I was wrecking in territory battle. I would have gone perfect in territory battles. Well, no, I lost one in the bounty hunter in that phase 5, I think. But other than that one battle, I was like, I got this. And then I got to my Kylo Ren team. Palpatine just wrecked. I got to my Kylo Ren team, and it was like, I got to the final battle, killed the pilot. I'm like, okay, I got this. What's happening? I can't kill them. They can't kill me. They're killing me. I can't stop it. Oh, I'm done. Made me realize then that I need special forces and executioner as soon as possible. But yeah, that's the Zeta and Meta report brought to you by what is it brought to you today by, Finn?
Reality Skewed Gamers Educational Services.
That's right. You know what? I think it's time to show off what we're talking about in that.
You want to play it ahead of time?
Yeah, we can do it ahead of time. I think we need a little break because I need to calm down. So let's
Okay.
have a laugh. So we've got a new. Last time we visited France, right? Finn, was France.
Yes, it was France.
Okay, so this time I think we're going to have Grande visit another country, and let's see what it is. So let's go ahead and check that out, and here we go.
Reality Skewed Gamers has spent more than 1 year bringing you quality gaming entertainment and knowledge, and the RSG crew loves giving back to their fans. With the help of Brockfinity Productions, Reality Skewed Gamers wants to increase the cultural knowledge in addition to the gaming knowledge that their fans possess. So in a departure from the typical gaming information that they provide, we present to you a new segment for cultural growth, Around the World with RSG. Today, we'll explore the United States of America, an area known for its great landmarks such as the Statue of Liberty, the Seattle Space Needle, and of course the theme park that everyone loves, Disney World. Grande Patron will take you through the United States of America today. Grande, take it away.
The chicken is in the corner! I want to catch that damn thing. What do I have to catch with? You think if I threw a jacket over it?
And that concludes this episode of Around the World with RSG.
My dear Lord in heaven. Oh my God.
That was awesome.
Finn showed me that right before I started stream Battlefront today. I had to hold in for about 5 minutes, just trying not to just die laughing. Oh my God.
That chicken's never going away, man.
No.
I love Grande, man.
I mean, I just remember the day it happened. We were just dying. Oh my God, were we dying? Oh my God. He just kept stopping randomly. Guys, there's chicken. Okay, Grande. I'm gonna follow it. All right, like, do what you gotta do, Grande. We start laughing. He's like, guys, update on the chicken. It's in the corner over here. And he's taking pictures and putting it on. It's like, oh my God.
Silverbolt, you have to do that. Silverbolt is saying he's tempted to add a chicken to Grande's
he's in one
avatar.
hand he's holding a mod, the other one he's holding the chicken.
A chicken.
No, have the chicken like peering out from behind Grande's robes.
Mm-hmm. You gotta do it, Silverbolt. Hey, MJ's here. Oh, up there in Minnesota, eh?
What's up, MJ?
Oh, boy, MJ.
What's up?
He's been busy, man. He's always busy. He works his butt off, and he's got a house full of women, and he's got a little girl, and he's busy building stuff for the house and doing all this other stuff. That guy is just ugh. Someday he'll have more time and he can come hang out with us more. We need to get him back on here. Finn, help me to browbeat MJ to come back on the stream. We want you back on, MJ. Okay, what's next? Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, so there's another update that came out before. Yeah.
Copy the link.
The AMA. So, a little bit of a backstory so you guys know what happened. There was a dev that was on the forums and he was basically replying to people. And it was Rydigs, and he was actually answering a lot of questions. And there was one post, I guess, that was saying that he didn't think Scion was worth investing in after the update. It was more designed to talk about putting gear in there, not about spending money in order to get the shards for him. And I guess there was just a misunderstanding in the wording, and there was something Rydigs posted and basically caused some people to be upset and thought that it was a rude response and yada yada. Then all of a sudden on Saturday, they just came out with this random AMA, which is an Ask Me Anything. There were 3 devs, Carrie, Nick Reinhardt, and Eric Larson.
Mm-hmm.
If you have it up, Ranger, so they'll see the names.
Yep, I see it.
They basically just decided, well, let's do a question and answer session with everyone. And yeah, we don't have to necessarily go through every single question, but if you guys search for it, it's in the general discussions forum. It's listed as SWGOH Q&A with producers. And they basically had a thread open. You would post your questions. They were trying to grab some, and then they were putting responses for it. We had a little bit of discussion on the lunch stream, but because this is our weekly summary, it was a good thing to bring it up and just get feedback. So before I kind of go into it, Grim, or Loki, let's start with you, Loki. What did you think about the AMA?
I was on the stream that night, but it seemed like, I mean, Ouchie was kind enough to read it during the stream.
Mm-hmm.
I think T-Money was on the stream as well. They both asked questions, and surprisingly, I think they only answered. Oh, they didn't answer. They just gave a response to T-Money's, which is kind of just vague and I don't know. It's kind of a. I don't know. I mean, T-Money had a great question. It was the one about, how do you protect minors or underage kids and exposing them to, suspected gambling and this and that. And they kind of came back and defended and said, this game isn't gambling. It is what it is. And, we put these packs out there for those that want to buy them, and, they're not for everybody. It was just it was a strange answer. Like they didn't really answer her question. So, and then Ouchies, they didn't even answer. So, going back to your original question, Finn, I don't know if it did any good, honestly. It just, it posed more questions, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Somebody answers asks a question, they don't want to be answered with another question. So that's the way I feel. It was a last-ditch effort to maybe salvage what Rydigs did, and I don't know if it worked or not, but to me, I think it was a waste of everybody's time because it was on a holiday night, and to have those people come in and do what they did is kind of shameful, from a company standpoint.
Hey, I think we froze, guys. Hold on.
You're
Stream's
unfrozen
going.
now. Yeah, it froze for a little bit, but it unfrozen.
Oh.
There was just a quick patch of buffering. You can still hear us, right, Ranger?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're okay.
Yeah, it should be okay.
It's being weird. Yeah.
YouTube being finicky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's at first it was OBS, we got that fixed, and now it's something else is going on, so don't know what's happening.
It's what happens when you criticize CG and
I
deep thought,
guess.
and then the stream just wigs out because they hit the button.
I mean, word.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. All right.
Grim, what do you think?
It would have been nice if they would have actually answered more questions. I think it was a good idea for them to come out and be like, we're going to talk to you guys for a change instead of, their usual of just hiding behind one of their forum, their PR guys. But we'll have to see if they do some more of that in the future. I'd like to see them do more of it. But yeah.
Vincelli, you've been very quiet and we haven't really talked to you much. What did you think, my friend?
It kind of went exactly how I thought it was going to go. I did not expect them to tell us, a roadmap or anything, or cadence this, cadence that, but I think, it was a good effort on their part, and I do agree. I think if they did it in the future, I wouldn't mind seeing that again, but I would like to see it without, from a cause of a discrepancy. Like, just say, hey, out of the blue, we'll do an AMA end of the month. Maybe put more effort towards the community about it.
Right. This is probably all just one big learning curve, and it's a first-time thing, and, it's a very touchy subject, but the next time they do it, it's going to be times better. Hopefully.
TM.
Thank you. I was waiting for that.
God.
Yeah, I don't think it's kind of sad. The whole thing was kind of sad for me. I know they felt like they needed to do something, right? Whatever happened on the forums, they felt the need to do something, come in on a Saturday and do something. I feel like their motto is basically, let's throw stuff out there, and if stuff goes bad, let's try and do something quickly. They don't focus on the quality of what they're doing enough. The question and answer session, I didn't mind the responses. It's kind of what I guessed. There's not a lot they can always tell us because they are, as much as we know, like for example, Game Changers, right? They're under NDA. After they see something, they're under an NDA for a certain amount of time until they can reveal information, right? The devs are going to be under even a more scrutinized NDA, probably under EA and Disney, because they're working on all this new content, so they're not supposed to say anything about it. Unless they get clearance, which they do every now and then on the live streams and some of the podcasts and whatnot. So getting no response was not unexpected. The thing that I got most out of this is that they are not in touch with the game. They like developers, which is fine. That's their job. It doesn't seem like they have any input from a player perspective enough. And that's probably one of the reasons why Territory Wars ended the way that it did. While, I can't remember who it was, I think it was Carrie, said that of the 5 people there, 4 of them had invested thousands of dollars of their own money. I felt like that was a way that they were trying to show that they're like one of us, like one of the players, and they're really not. They don't understand the struggles of the players. They don't really seem to understand why we complain about certain things. I know they came out later and corrected Ouchie's question, but the fact that they answered Ouchie's question that way in the first place shows that they don't understand what's going on in Territory Wars. Nobody has ever suggested that they should have the ability to remove characters from defense and use them for offense in Territory Wars. Like, that's not, I won't say nobody, but in general, that is not a common complaint, that I can't take characters out of defense and use them for offense. Like, that's not That's not what the question was asking at all. So I think all this showed was that they really lack any kind of player perspective when they're making decisions. And what their solution is to listen to everybody. They don't seem to have any kind of filtering process or any critical thinking from a player perspective on their side. And then they implemented every single possible update that they could have to break ties in territory war and came up with their own system. I think that's what was most revealing to me from the AMA. It was rushed. There was no need for it to be on that particular day. They could have waited. They could have announced on Saturday that it was coming on Monday, that they were going to do the AMA. So they're not announcing something while European players are sleeping. They're not doing something with 2 hours notice, so if people weren't checking their forums or something, they wouldn't know what's happening. They also did it on St. Patrick's Day, which is a day where pretty much everyone else is getting drunk. So they had a good intent. I like the fact that they're trying to communicate more. It is belied by the fact that they released CLS today with 1 day. Their responses just show that they're out of touch with the actual community, despite them trying to communicate with it. And it was just overall very disappointing to me. So that's just
good idea,
from my
just
perspective.
bad timing.
Yeah.
Bad
Another
execution,
client
bad
restart.
timing, bad everything.
Yeah, but if they just had a steady flow of communication, they wouldn't have to do this stuff. I mean, why not just save yourself time and regularly communicate what's going on effectively, rather than doing a last.
I think this was also an emergency, though. Yeah,
Correct.
I think this
Yeah,
one, though, they thought it was an emergency because of what happened with Ryden. I think they just thought that his comments were starting to rile up the community. Kind of like when, remember when Cozy said something and everyone thought it was Revan, and then it like immediately came out with like a statement.
Yeah.
It was almost like that same kind of mentality where they were trying to avoid any kind of panic, any kind of rolling anger, anything that just kind of continues to be bottled up and then explodes. They were trying to shut it down early. So I didn't mind them trying to do something, but there was no reason to do the questions on that day. They could have said, we will do a question and answer session on Monday. And I think people would have understood, considering it was the freaking weekend. It was St. Patrick's Day weekend and everything. Like there was, they rushed things unnecessarily. And I think this all goes back to the fact that it doesn't look like their PR really does things properly.
Oh, they just did another client restart.
Yep.
But no info on the forums yet.
TM.
So I wonder what they
I
broke.
wonder which legendary event we're going to get to now.
I think it is. I think whatever it is, they added it because the post is updated.
Man, I got 8 Rex ship shards today.
So shut your hole.
The 821. The 821 post by the post for today, the 321 post is edited about 30 minutes ago. So they made an update since we read it. I don't know what the edit is.
I'll
never
skim through it and see if I can spot it.
I don't see anything in particular. The only thing would be that if they added like bugs or something, but I don't see anything in particular that they added. But there was an edit.
I don't know.
Very sad.
Punctuation, I have no idea.
But yeah, well, what did you think of the whole thing, Ranger? I know you were live streaming it during the whole AMA thing, but what did you think?
You know, it was kind of, A for effort. I don't know what to give it as a grade. Not a great grade, but I mean, a lot of the answers, and some of them I understood because, you know, if you don't know, you don't know, right? Or if you can't say, you can't say. But that seemed that there was a lot of stuff that they could have said something on that they didn't say. Or they gave these answers that were just so PC. I was like, oh, come on. Just be a little transparent, you know? If you're going to have an announcement, I thought the day they did it and why but that being said, you know, if you're going to have a live, to know that these are the questions you're going to get and have somewhat better a response, is what's one thing that stood in my mind. Like you were going to do this. Now, if you just did this and you were told to do this and blah, blah, blah. I know. I mean, it's a no-win situation for them. But then again, I think they could have done much better with what they said. Hopefully they learn from this and then they can go forward and get better at it. But, you know, I mean, I was kind of given the benefit of the doubt. And, you know, some of the responses to some of the questions, I was kind of upset about it Saturday, but I'm like, damn, you know, it is what it is, you know. But then this whole CLS thing comes out. So I'm like, you had all these questions, and I'm sure I know for a fact that the cadence was a part of it. And then you surprise everybody with Luke. So either you didn't know, which means your communication in your company is poo, or you knew about it, but it doesn't matter because you're just doing a money grab. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to both of it. I mean, the cons outweigh the pros, but it is what it is. I don't really have much to say about it other than that.
Other than
that's right. I say. All right. What's next, Finn?
All right. Well, we don't have to necessarily open up the other post, but there was a post about the matchmaking. Okay, we can open it. They put a post about the matchmaking, so they clarified.
We don't need to read it. And I see. Yeah. And they kind of fixed the match. See, I give them props for this. This is good, right? So, you know, we saw this as a note, and, you know, we were doing this. They did some clarification. The only thing that they didn't do, and I didn't see it, maybe I missed it, is why you didn't clarify, or did they clarify it later on? The amount of teams needed for each phase. Did I miss that somewhere? Because I remember reading.
No, they don't clarify that. They didn't want to give it away because it would reveal the formula, and they didn't want that.
No, I'm not talking about the formula. I just want to know why you said it was only for top.
No, that was their reasoning. Their reasoning was they couldn't give details because it would expose what the formula is.
No,
they can't give that away.
Why who has 30 and who has 35. I'm talking about how you're saying this group is only going to be the ones affected, not everybody, and not clarifying how it affected everybody in some form of capacity. That wasn't real.
Yeah. What they ended up saying for that one was, we don't want to reveal that algorithm to you guys just yet.
No, I don't care about the goddamn algorithm. People are not listening. I don't care what the algorithm is. Everybody had some kind of up in the amount of teams that they had when they said that was not going to be the case. They didn't clarify that. That's the thing that people want to know.
You're wondering on how they define top teams, right?
Yeah, because it was only top teams would have 2 extra defenses or something like that, right? You know, top echelon teams. They didn't clarify that. And then everybody got either 35 or 30 or, you know, it up everybody's amount of rosters.
That's what it was. That was what it was. So people asked, why are people with like 120 getting 30 and that kind of stuff?
That was their answer to that? That is a garbage answer.
Their answer was, we can't tell you because that would start to reveal the algorithm.
You put that out there and didn't clarify, and then you say, it's not revealing the algorithm. Tell us why you did it. I don't care how the algorithm picks the teams and how you pick the teams and all that other crap. I want to know why you said one thing and did another.
I'll read you the question. And then I'll read you the answers as well. So the question was, can you give us the criteria for these additional teams? What are the tiers? And the response was, unfortunately, I can't because it's a band of the matchmaking algorithm. However, it's definitely upper guild of the game where they would be expected to be able to field deep defenses. Again, matchmaking does not have tiers. Matchmaking has matches. Rewards have tiers. That's it. So basically, they can't tell us because it would.
That is a garbage answer, and it's not answering the question. I don't care if what it takes to go from 35 to 30 teams or 32 or 30 teams. I don't care about that. I want you to explain to me, CG, why you said in the beginning that it was only to be top echelon teams would have a couple of defenses, which you didn't clarify what that means because your definition is different than probably ours. It had nothing there about everybody having to up their in some form or capacity up in their teams. That was not a part of what you guys put out initially. That's why everybody's upset. We didn't know that this was going to happen. That's why the community is freaking out. Now, you did a great job of fixing the matchmaking. Now, pull your head out of your ass and fix this. Damn. I get tired of telling you how to do your damn job. That is a bullshit response to a question or the reveal the algorithm. They don't care about what the GP level is. They want to know is why you said one thing and then did another. I want to know that answer. Because you didn't clarify that at the beginning. Damn. Again, you make a beautiful thing, you fix matchmaking, and then you crap and you can't. No. God damn it, man.
On a positive note, Ranger, at least the new skin looks really awesome.
Yeah, I like the new skin. Thank you. It's very nice.
That just popped over onto YouTube. It looks really nice.
It is. They're really nice. Grim did a wonderful job.
Yeah, good job.
I only did the logo and the words on the screen. Finn did the rest, and Silverbolt did the
yeah, Silverbolt's artwork's amazing. I can't wait to see the
That's
chicken.
really nice, all of you guys. Great job on that.
You know, I don't want to come on here and have to say that this is simple, Simon. So, you know, me and Finn, we deal with communications, and I'm sure we're in some form of capacity of having to do communications, right? You're transparent to a point, but when someone asks me why something happened when I said something else, it's called accountability. It's called integrity. You explain yourself. You don't give a BS political answer because then you lose everybody. People want to know. My guild did not know we were going to have 35 on our team. You did not clarify that. We want to know why you said this thing and then this thing happened. That's what that person asked. Not about how, if you reach a certain GP threshold and you go from 30 to 35. No one gives a crap about that. Everybody got affected. You know, people that are like 70 million GP had to put 30 teams in. That was not a part of the original post. I want to know why that happened and why you guys felt the need not to explain that part.
Can I take a guess?
I'm sure. Don't say money, Finn, because that'll really make me angry.
No. It's not money. So I have this weird theory on how they're deciding what the top teams are, right? And my guess is that they are somehow looking at not only the GP of the guild, but they're also determining your competitiveness by using a quality maybe equivalent to checking out raids and how many raids and stuff you're completing. And if they say, like, you are considered a top 2 guild because you are able to complete heroic AAT at, I don't know, let's say 2.5 times a week, you're right around that on the average, and you're able to complete your Rancor at 3.5, then you're considered a higher end guild, and then we look at your GP to determine whether or not you make the top. And then, potentially, the whale guilds, who don't need anything from Rancor, don't need anything from heroic AAT, can stop doing those, and then their matchmaking quality drops. And then they get easier targets because now they're not doing that part of the algorithm.
Listen,
it's entirely possible.
I'm fine with them
so
making
in that
changes.
Case, you can't say that it's based on your rate.
No,
because then
it's
people
not,
might stop doing it.
Two different things being asked here. I'm asking for why they didn't clarify this crap. If you want to make changes to the game, it's your game. You can do it however you like. I don't have any problem with that. But tell us what the hell you're talking about and let us know. We're still trying to figure out territory wars in my guild. You know what?
But
territory wars is not fun.
They reveal more than they want to. That's the problem. So we don't know. So I agree with you.
I don't know how hard this is. Tell me, Finn, tell me how hard this
affected.
is. Hi, we're making some changes to territory wars based on a certain level, which we can't reveal. Certain teams, and you'll see it when you log in, when you do the next territory war, will have 35 teams per zone. Anything above a certain next level will get 30, and down the line. How hard is that to communicate? And then
but that's assuming it is that simple.
It is that simple. You're not revealing anything.
No, you're assuming that the way that they're calculating the top teams is that simple. It could, the way they're determining top teams, right, could include things like your guild GP is probably one of the bigger ones, right? Then you have the option of potentially how many raids you're...
It's not the amount of teams. I could care less about that. It's
no, I'm not worried about the number of teams. But what I'm saying is the way that they're determining the top guild, the top guilds, right? Who they're determining is going to be considered a quote-unquote top guild in order to get more territories, right? Or more teams to be put on defense. How are they considering that? It's possible that it includes not only your guild GP, but it also includes maybe your efficiency and raid completion. It can include things like your arena, your average arena for your guild. it could include things that are able to be manipulated if known to be, I don't know if this is necessarily a word, but manipulatable. So if there is a variable that you know can affect your matchmaking, and if you are able to drop that, because we've already suspected that people are maybe dropping like certain people from territory wars in order to get easier targets, right? So you have like the 40 people going as 50, but the 40 people are like total whales, but the GP matches up and those kind of things. So there's already been a suspicion that that kind of stuff is happening. So if there is a known variable in the process that makes it so you know, okay, if we had this stat, then we have to put more in. If we have a lower stat, then we're actually able to put less in defense. So let's go ahead and tank something. It's not going to be something that no one's going to tank Arena because crystals is still the currency for this game. But if it is something like raids, people don't need raids anymore. Like the raids are just there. So it's possible that they're doing something with the algorithm that they can't reveal how exactly they're calculating the top teams. Is all I'm saying. I wish I'm with you.
I
wish
care
they
about
had
that.
something.
I don't care about the algorithm thing. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I don't care how they pick teams or anything like that. I don't care what their matchmaking is. That's irrelevant to what I'm saying. Person wants to know what was their decision based off of increasing from 30 to all this other nonsense, and teams that are below 100 million having to put extra teams on defense, which was not announced. I want them to explain their thinking on that. I don't care about the matchmaking system. I don't care about
that goes into the algorithm.
No, it doesn't.
It's not that it wasn't.
Why did they decide to do that? Why did they not tell us?
They never said they weren't going to be.
Yes, they
the whole
did.
Question
they
comes
did
down
not
to,
say that, Finn, and it was very, very ambiguous about top teams because
that's the point,
top
though.
teams were thinking not every guild would have some kind of effect where their team roster was going to be moved from one point to the next, right? I mean, it's ridiculous.
So that's two different things, though. So this goes back to what I was saying about the AMA, that there is a disconnect between the devs and the players because they don't seem to have that player mentality. And I think Grande said this on one of the streams as well. It's not. So when you say top teams, right? Unfortunately, even though if we look at ours, right, we would think top guilds are, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's maybe 10 to 20 guilds that we would consider maybe top guilds, right. Which we would probably put some classifications amongst us, right? We would put some classification of maybe 140 million GP as maybe a cutoff, because those are, when you do the average GP, most of them are probably spending some kind of money, maybe not necessarily whale money, but probably high-end dolphin type money. So they're investing in the game, they have a really well-developed roster, and your guild GP is looking around like 140, right? My guild is 120. Unfortunately, if you look at my guild, so if you look at the RSG guild versus the rest of the community, even though we are primarily free-to-play players, our ranges go from like 3 million down to like 1.4. And we're just like pretty much all free-to-play. We have some very small minnows and goldfish and stuff, but for the most part, it's free-to-play. We would be considered a top guild. If you look at our guild versus all of the guilds in the community, right? Because there's like 10,000 plus guilds that are currently out there, and the number of them that are just casual that we're not interacting with, right? So our community is really active players. They might be in newer guilds, but they're still really active players. There's a lot of guilds out there that don't have very high GP. They don't play every day. They don't do raids all day. They don't organize territory war. They do territory battles as a free-for-all. All these things that they're doing, it's not considered necessarily high end. So our guild at 120 can be considered top end if you're looking at it from just a statistical standpoint, which is probably what the devs are doing, because they don't have that player perspective. So I don't think it's necessarily that they misled anybody. The problem is they don't have anybody that's really a player. They don't have a player to tell players what's going on. They say things in terms of their dev stats. They're looking at things like, what are the GPs? How do the GPs compare with the whole community? If we were to take, let's say, the top 5% of guilds, or let's expand it. It's probably closer to 10%. Let's look at what the top 10% GPs are for the guild. Chances are it'll probably include 100 million guild, maybe even down to 90, because there's so many players that will join a guild as soon as they hit.
But this is the
20.
communication point I'm talking about. You need to clarify what the hell you're talking about to the community. Because Sunday night when that happened, everybody, other than the top guilds, were taken by surprise. Because they're like, what the hell is this? We didn't read this. You didn't say this. Why is this happening? And it wasn't just us that were 35. It was people getting to 30. Like, wait, wasn't this supposed to be top guilds? Why are we getting it? And on down the line, you know, none of that was explained when we read that post about, you know, the flags and all that other stuff from the post about territory war changes. We knew about the flag system. Great. You didn't like it. I did. But that's what I'm talking about, Finn. I just want clarification on that. Why? I don't care about your algorithm. I just want to know what was in your mentality when you said this to not break it down.
But I don't think they have a mentality.
Well, that could be the case too. I mean,
they do everything based on numbers. They just do everything based on numbers. That's
why
it.
you couldn't communicate that more clearly. You know, I mean, I just, you know, would like some clarification on that. So when that person asked that question,
they don't have players.
And then she brings in the algorithms. It's one has nothing to do with the other. Now, if you think it does, devs, then I don't know where you're at. Finn's point is right. You out of touch. You know, we're sitting here and we're still scratching our heads on territory wars, trying to figure out what to do. You know, it's crazy. It really is.
130 drain. I can tell you right now, 120 million needing 30 in each territory.
That's crazy.
It drains us. Like drains us.
I just remember,
especially when you look at fleets.
Yeah, I remember the community that night. It wasn't just our. I was just reading all the chat. I was getting bombarded, and I'm sure you were too, Finn. Like, what in the hell is this? Like, because I logged in because I was doing a lot of homework that day, and I logged in. It was like, Finn was like, "Oh Lord." I said, "What? You don't know?" I'm like, "No, what?" And then he showed it to me. I was like, "What?" And I log into the game to my guild, and we're freaking out because we're like, what are we gonna do? Our whole gameplay now that's all that, you know. It was everybody. So that's what I kind of want clarification on. I digress. Let's move on to something else because my head's gonna explode with this madness.
Well, we can go around here too.
Yeah,
just
you know what?
Me kind of going back.
Am I crazy? Let's go around the corner. You know, Vincelli, am I cray about this?
Oh, you're not cray enough.
You know, see.
I mean, I agree with you though. I mean, I think I get Loki's point about the whole algorithm and everything. I get that's their response. No, that was Finn.
But
all they had is I'm sorry, Finn. Yeah, Finn. I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. Anyways, no, all they had to say was all they had to say. All they had to say was like, we're doing this because we think blank.
Right.
That's it. That's all they could have said, or we were doing this because we want to try it out, or just something. Not like we have an algorithm and hush hush, and we're not going to tell you, because that just, like you said, the communication. It's not clear at all. You know.
All right, Loki, you're being very quiet. Yeah,
I'm busy. I'm busy running some greater riffs right now.
Oh well, sorry. I didn't mean to bother
just kidding.
you.
I'm doing GW Sims. How about that? Is that a good excuse now?
How about now?
Takes too long.
How about now?
You can't even sim a single one. You have to sim all 12 at a time, so that doesn't work.
Isn't that dumb? It's dumb. Because you can sim singles of the other stuff, right? You can still do 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but yeah, go all 12. No, I agree with you, Ranger. I think it hasn't been defined what a top guild is. That's still a question in my mind. I mean, and that's fine. If they don't want to tell us, then they don't want to tell us, right? But I was actually going to ask around the panel, how was your matchmaking this time? Because, I mean, ours sucked. I mean...
ours was kind of on point. It was equal.
Yeah, ours is within
lost,
about.
But I mean, it was still equal. I can't really say anything about that. I think they got they're getting the matchmaking part fine, right? And I don't have a problem with the flags. It's just.
Yeah, we got matched up with Wallet Warriors, so it's about 16 mil difference. So we are the underdog.
True.
And I really think I honestly think the matchmaking has to do with wins, and it's kind of sad to say, but it's like, okay, if you're a winning guild, sooner or later you're going to face TI Bravo, and that's all it is. That's your reward, right, for being a winning guild.
Yeah, MC1 did, and it was a hell of a match, man. Props to TI Bravo for their undefeated.
It was, man.
Yeah, it was a great match.
I heard that was really good. Yeah. But again, see, that's the problem with the matchmaking is you can sway it. You can sway the pendulum one way, but it's like, okay, now your top 10 guilds are all going to fight each other, and that's it, right? I mean, how come we couldn't get matched up with somebody like 1 mil GP under us? Like, I mean, why can't they match up the 10 and the 11 or the 10 and the 9? Why do they have to make the spread like plus or minus 15? I don't think I don't know. It's kind of, it just sucks because, you want to grow as a guild. You want to get better GP. But here's the problem, right? If you keep doing that, this is what's going to happen is now you're going to get, 15 mil, 20 mil GP mismatches.
Yeah, it's hard when you get to that top 20, top 30 range where...
Yeah, so it's like there's no incentive for any guild to grow past 140. I mean, there really isn't. At 140 mil GP guild, you can clear Heroic Sith, you can clear pretty much everything in the game, and you'll have pretty cool matchups, in that range. But if you jump to like 150, you're going to be screwed, and that's all it is. So I think they still need to fix the matchmaking. It sucks.
Yeah, to add on to your point too, because something interesting happened to my guild this time around. So my guild's at about 110 million GP, and we usually have only about 100 million participating. But for whatever reason, this time we had like an extra person or two that pushed us into the next bracket. So normally we were well,
they say there's no brackets, so...
No, yeah, I don't really agree with him on that, because the guild we're going up against, I don't know what their total participation is, but they're already 14 million GP ahead of us, like, total.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we faced a guild like that, but we were, like, trying to figure out why. We're like, oh, we had 2 extra people participate this time, and I think it pushed us to the next bracket. So it's like, why climb the brackets if you just have to, like, start at the bottom each time you advance?
Yeah, there's no incentive to grow, which is why I think Territory Wars, like to Finn's point, it's broken. I get it; they don't want to have any rematches, I guess, But again, their decision is let's make the spread plus or minus 15 million, which is very vague. It sucks, and yeah, I don't know if they'll ever get it right. But again, what I'm trying to say is
accomplishing is causing some guilds, or maybe a lot of guilds, to just cheese. We're going up against a guild that is higher than us, so
yeah, but you can't cheese anymore. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you really can't. I mean, okay, if I put a cheesy team in, the other guild's gonna go like 2v5 and then get bonus points, right? So there's really no.
Well, if you're gonna lose anyways.
Yeah, why not have fun?
Well, I mean, if you're going to lose anyway, you might as well not even participate because it doesn't matter.
There have been some guilds doing that where they just go in. I saw someone telling me the other day, they're like, "Here you go, win. We'll take our 2." I mean, that's what you're incentivizing. So I think if you left it at 30 and done the flag thing, so you got rid of the ties, which I think really helps with the ties, none of this would be happening right now. We would still need the guild matchup thing fixed, but if you just done something about the ties and just added the flags, totally fine. Would have been perfect, but it's all this other stuff.
I agree.
Yeah,
the extra spaces, it's just, yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of that I kind of like about the extra spaces is when you win now. Well, the past couple times my guild has won, we haven't won with a full clear.
Right.
But it's like, well, if you don't win with a full clear, then what's the point of those extra flags of tiebreakers?
I don't know.
Like, if both guilds aren't going to do a full clear anymore because they can barely, the resources are stretched so thin, it's either do extra spots or do the flags, but not both.
All right. Let's move on there, Finnadoodle.
You sure?
Yep. Before I make you eat a Twinkie.
You really sure?
I'm positive, Finn. Quit making me angry.
I think people want another rant. So.
Hey, I gave you 3 rants tonight, damn it. I mean, you got your money's worth. I wasn't even planning to rant, but the CLS thing just pushed me over the edge. right before we came on or whenever it was long, I was just like, I was so happy. We were playing Battlefront, and we thought they'd fix the matchmaking system. I was so happy. I was in a happy place, and then they did this, and I got so frustrated.
Let's get you back to a happy place. Let's watch Around the World again.
Okay,
let's watch it again, then we'll go to.
So for those who haven't seen it, let's do it again. We're gonna play the Grande Around the World. This time, Grande, it's going to America.
Reality Skewed Gamers has spent more than 1 year bringing you quality gaming entertainment and knowledge, and the RSG crew loves giving back to their fans. With the help of Brockfinity Productions, Reality Skewed Gamers wants to increase the cultural knowledge in addition to the gaming knowledge that their fans possess. So in a departure from the typical gaming information that they provide, we present to you a new segment for cultural growth, Around the World with RSG. Today, we'll explore the United States of America, an area known for its great landmarks such as the Statue of Liberty, the Seattle Space Needle, and of course the theme park that everyone loves, Disney World. Grande Patron will take you through the United States of America today. Grande, take it away.
The chicken is in the corner. I want to catch that damn thing. What do I have to catch with? You think if I threw a jacket over it?
And that concludes this episode of Around the World with RSG.
There you have it. Once again, good old Grande Patron telling us all the great things about the United States of America.
America.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh my God, he's so great. All right, I think it's time for the Twitter question.
All right, so let's go to the Twitter question. So the question was, what character do you want to see dominate in the heroic 6th Triumvirate raid, and why? So let's start with Sanely Red, who said, I want Sith teams to be more valuable in the Sith raid. Go figure. It's true. The Sith, all these debuff teams can't do anything. It makes me sad.
It's very sad. Yeah, we just got Zeta on Palpatine. Oh, he's worthless.
Yeah. Fatality V2. I want Cup to dominate in the Sith raid, so I have a legit reason to farm him.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if we should ban Keyboard now.
Why?
Keyboard says Jar Jar Binks because he's the best character to ever exist.
The original Sith Lord.
Yeah, I mean.
KP said Wiccans and Ewoks because hell, if they can dominate organized military, Dark Force users should be a breeze.
Wow.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. It's science.
Kev1 Genobi says, I'd like to see Jedi Luke dominate the Sith raid to unlock all 7-star tunes not out yet. That requires 7-star tunes to unlock. That requires 7-star tunes to unlock. That require more 7-star tunes to unlock.
Wow.
He's not wrong, though. So if you need CLS, right, for Jedi Luke, you would need 7-star R2 in order to get a 7-star CLS, in order to get a 7-star Jedi Luke. They could throw him in the Treya in there too, so now you need 7-star characters to beat the.
Yeah, you guys should start farming for Jedi Luke now because he might drop in 2 days. You never know.
Oh yeah, that's true. Jedi Luke, you heard it here first. Jedi Luke may drop next month, TM.
That's
and Hagar said, only one thing dominates the Sith Triumvirate raid. More portions.
And make sure you guys check out Hagar's channel on Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, one of our YouTubers that watches us. Just a quick shout out to him.
What's up, Hagar?
Our boy.
And Grim, I'll let you give your reason. But Grim wrote, because. And that was his reason. He was breaking out in laughing. So I said it's. Oh man, Tuscans need a place in this game.
awful.
And that's it for Let Twitter questions.
All right, let's
Uh-huh.
get.
Shouldn't Mace Windu, be OP in this thing?
Now you're being all
Seriously.
serious.
Yeah, now you're making sense.
Yeah.
I am, man. No, I'm being serious.
Why would Jedi be good against Sith? That's silly.
Well, they made Jedi Knight Anakin, I guess, kind of useful. I don't know.
He's mildly useful, but yeah, they're...
your Grandmaster Yoda team can do 3 million, right?
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time for some
I was able to collect them, Grim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once Ranger came
many.
back, I was able to collect. All right. Are we ready for questions?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
All right. And we do have only a few questions, so if you guys have questions, go ahead and put it in there. So,
I was going to try the Google thing. Let me look here. Let's see. No, it's being stupid. No, not working. Jesus.
Wait, did I miss Alan? Is Alan saying I missed his?
I don't know. Did you miss Alan's question?
No, his response on Twitter.
The Twitter response.
Well,
let me just check really quick.
That. Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah. Oh. I'm assuming this may be him. Edmont Dante says, I want Mace Windu to dominate because he's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
that'll
Go now.
Okay. All right. So, let's go ahead.
I got a message from Othello, and he said, thank you so much for the roster review. No,
awesome.
You.
Oh, that was the one we did for the lunch stream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a good roster again.
Yeah, it was.
We should kind of
incorporate
more of those in the lunch.
Yeah, we can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
All right, so I think I got most of the questions here. So let's go ahead and get started. First question is from Mr. Keith Cosentino. And the question is, what star level is Jedi Reaper Arena viable? Let's throw this to Xylo. What star level is TIE Reaper Arena viable?
As soon as you unlock it, if you got a good enough geared Short Trooper and Death Trooper, that makes it a better plus. And, as soon as you start incorporating that into your lineup, the better. As soon as you unlock it again, it's a great ship.
All right. Next question. Nathaniel Morgan. We'll give this to, I guess this is a question for me. Can we get Wicket in the background? So normally I do hide Wicket and BB-8 in the background somewhere. Wicket is currently taking a nap, so he was not there today. But I will bring him next time. So you will be able to see Wicket again in my background. So next question is from Keyboard, and it's kind of similar to the first question. We'll give this over to Van Seal. And the question is TIE Reaper good for Fleet Arena? So we talked about viability, but is TIE Reaper good for Fleet Arena?
In my opinion, MVP. Just because, even if you lose ships, right now, most Fleet Arenas, it's like Thrawn versus Thrawn, so it's pretty much a race to your ultimate. If you start killing ships off, their fleet, their fleet commander may not even get a turn, and it's incredible. TIE Reaper, viable 3 stars, 4 stars, an amazing ship.
That, and one more thing about the TIE Reaper, it's the only ship that has the turn meter manipulation on capital ships too, so that's why it's so great. Yeah, it's amazing.
All
right. Next question is let's throw this to Grim. So Artorias Drac Knight wants to know, how many meta-defining ships did we get last year that also had viable tunes in Arena? So ships and crew members, which ones became meta in both?
That's a good question.
I'm trying to remember what we got specifically last year, though.
Probably the Millennium Falcon and Poe's ship, because for a while there, the Resistance teams were kicking butt in Arena under the Zeta Finn lead. Rex. Can't go wrong with Rex. That's about it. I mean,
don't forget the capital ship either, right?
You can't say Thrawn, the Chimera, but that,
How about Biggs? Biggs is probably one of the best ships in the game, and for a while, Wedge and Biggs were a good 1-2 combo, and Wedge leader for a while in the Arena.
And now Vader's rework has made him meta with the TIE Advanced also.
Good one.
Yeah.
Darth Maul, the Scimitar.
Yeah.
A lot of people were using Maul leads for a while.
Resistance pilot.
I never really used that ship. No. It's not that good.
Yeah, I use the ship or the character.
First order TIE fighter pilot, I think, is the fastest attacker because anytime a target locked enemy takes damage, it gains 16.5% turn meter.
And the regular TIE fighter pilot too, because the turn meter with leads. When TIE Reaper or TIE Pilot was the first one to go, putting all the AoE debuffs and buff immunities and ability blocks right away on the opening turn, it was meta defining at the time.
All right. So I think this is a good point to take a quick break, Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do some of our voicemail questions.
I can't get the damn thing to pull up. Give me a second. I'm trying.
Oh. Okay. So Ranger will try to get that going. We'll get the voicemail questions here. Otherwise, there is another way to get them. So we'll go to the next question.
It's coming. Once, do another question. Hopefully I can have it up by then.
Okay. So Keith Costantino asked, does Finn invest 95% of his money in retirement fund because we know he doesn't spend it on internet?
That's a valid question, Finn.
Yeah, so the problem is there is limitations on how much you can actually invest into your IRA and 401k. Each one has its own limits. Well, the question was asked.
Well, that's also why Finn goes to bed so early. He's practicing for when he retires.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I'm very good at it. So an IRA only has a limit of $5,500, and the 401k, I believe, is $18,000 now is the limit. So I could not put in 95% into a retirement fund. It wouldn't have, not a recognized retirement fund. You could always just throw it into like a mutual fund and just leave it in a regular investment account, but that wouldn't be a retirement account. So,
there's this one thing in Switzerland.
Yes, there are ways of putting things offshore and all that kind of stuff. Hey, it is not my fault that somebody asked that question. You're talking about retirement because somebody asked me. Just throwing that out there. All right. We go for the voicemail questions, Ranger, or should we do another one?
All right, here we go. I'm going to try to play it. See, now you guys won't hear it on Skype, but it should come in. Let me see if I can click it. A second. All right, here we go.
I'm just curious if anybody's tried running a Qui-Gon Jinn lead in Phase 1 of Sith Raid. I run a Jedi Raid team. It does well, blah, blah, blah. But I noticed the Foresight screws up Nihilus. With Qui-Gon Jinn and probably Yoda because he gives the tenacity up, and even a Luminara because he'll heal over time in 3 turns, I'm just really curious if that team works. I don't want to waste a Zeta on Qui-Gon or any Jedi for that matter. I think it suck, but if it works, I'll actually put it together. That's it. My name is Warghoul in the game. Thanks for hearing this question. All right, bye.
So his question was about Qui-Gon Jinn lead, phase 1 of the Sith raid, probably phase 2. Should he get the Zeta on Qui-Gon Jinn because the rest of the time Jedi suck, even with Luminara, that kind of thing. What does the panel think of that?
Don't Zeta Qui-Gon Jinn.
Actually, I beg to differ on that one.
Ooh!
One on the Nerf Herders stream, they had a lady that does Jedi in the arena, and she has lots of videos of her taking down EP teams and stuff with a Zeta Qui-Gon lead. I forget what her name was. It started with an A. Anandra or something like that. So
real quick, you telling me that Qui-Gon Jinn could be in the arena against him?
That's what she was showing. Let me see if I can find it.
Essentially, you start off with Foresight on everyone, so you won't be able to do a lot of the AoE abilities. They'll hit the Foresight first. So, and it's the same concept in phase 1 of the Sith raid, because you can avoid some of the Force strains by Nihilus if you do that. So I don't know if it's necessarily something you should do specifically for that, because if you have a Qui-Gon Jinn lead, chances are you're going to be targeted and dropped in arena. Things work on offense. It's good to have something that works on offense right now. And for Palpatine, teams are kind of a race of mods, essentially, right now, more than anything. So I don't know if I would say it's worth it to put the Zeta.
I mean, I'd say Zeta's for Hermit Yoda, right? And then run, Qui-Gon Jinn and Ezra and them, if you're going to run a team. Hermit Yoda just getting rocking and rolling, right?
But then you're pulling, Kanan or Ezra or one or the other or both.
I would for the Sith. Well, I mean, you can run, instead of Ezra, you can run Sabine with the other 5, Phoenix characters.
Right, but again, usually if you're going to use a Jedi team, with Qui-Gon Jinn lead, and say you're incorporating Hermit Yoda because it'll give foresight to the other Jedis, right? So at that point, you're also going to want to squeeze Kanan in there too as a taunter and someone to give out even more foresight. So right there, you're pulling 2 members out of the 6 Phoenix members. Most of the time, that's going to be what's happening with Kanan being in there or GK. But again, a lot of people are going to risk their GK putting it into a Jedi team for the Sith raid.
Maybe.
I mean, it's hard to get GK going in the Sith raid in general.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea, and I would love to see it, too. Don't get me wrong, but, I mean, I just don't think Zeta and Qui-Gon Jinn's lead now. I mean, if you already have it, that's cool, but putting it on now isn't going to be worth it.
And Go Maurice donated $2.
Oh, what did he say?
Yeah.
It was Adastra.
Yes. The name is Adastra. That's what Good Old Maurice is donating $2 for.
Jedi Master Adastra was the girl that was doing all the Zeta Qui-Gon stuff. Lots of good videos in there.
What was the name again one more time?
Jedi Master Adastra. Adastra.
I'll have to check that out later. That sounds pretty interesting.
All right.
Next one. And I think we have another.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? This is Corey Dahlmeyer. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm just driving a tractor trailer right now. Anyways, I just had a question. When Vista Smar and Darth Cyan become free to play, where do you think they will end up after Chromium? I noticed, in the Cantina shipment, I think it's by Poe in the bottom right. There's an empty slot. I just want to know you guys' thoughts. Thanks a lot.
All right. So the question is from our good friend Corey Delmar, who's on the road, I think, and his thing was, where do we think Visasmar and Scion are going to end up after the Chromium? Where do we think they'll end up?
They'll be stuck in Chromiums.
That's right. You like it, say, meh.
Just like everything else.
Yeah, your guess
everything goes into Chromium.
Good question.
I think they're...
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Grim.
I think they're probably going to stick Scion in Cantina and lock Mar behind a dark side hard node.
I can see the
That's
Cantina for Scion, and then, you know, Visas Mar, since she's such a viable PvE character, maybe the guild store, just to kind of give you back a quicker way to farm her.
Yeah, I agree with Xylo. I can see Scion being locked behind one of those 16 energy Cantina nodes, like right where Assassin, Sith Assassin, Trooper, and Nihilus are. And then Mrs. Mar being either hard node, on the light side or dark side, or guild store.
Yeah, the reason I was saying dark side, you know, one of the dark side hard nodes is they make a lot of money off of people spending refreshes on the hard nodes. A lot of money, more than they would if they like put her in another area.
Maybe even possibly for Visas, the guild event store.
I think that might be stretching. I think that's pretty much Wampa and Yoda territory.
Yeah, because we're gonna need that for the Gear 12 stuff. So I don't think they're gonna put in. Hopefully they don't put in Visas.
Speculated like Talzin or, you know, one of the newer characters that have came out recently in there before. So I mean, I could see it, but at the same time, again, it might be a while or a newer tune even that comes into the game that they'll put in there. But Visas is going to be kind of a stretch to where she's going to go, really. I mean, Scion has his viability in Arena, so it's hard to tell again.
Okay, those are the 2 Google questions, Finn.
All right, let's go back to our questions from the chat here. So from DJ Benvera, I'll give this to Loki. The question is, who would be the captain if there was a First Order capital ship?
Hux.
Loki.
It should be Hux. I mean, I could see them throwing. Oh no, Kylo Ren on Mask has. He already has his. So yeah, it'd probably be Hux. Maybe you could throw First Order Executioner on there because he was in that ship with Hux. So I don't know.
Ooh, a double capital ship? That would be a first.
Yep, that'd be interesting.
That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know. They gotta throw. I mean, every First Order character is in a ship, right? So.
Not all of them. Officer isn't. And Executioner.
Yeah, you can throw those 2 on there. I don't know. but they would have to introduce Hux. That's the problem. So
yeah,
I guess we'll see in April. I mean, that's when
Hux and the Finalizer.
Yeah.
Or Hux and the Flame Trooper, maybe even.
All right, next question. I'll give this one to Ranger. So the question is from Velociraptor.
Okay.
And the question says, why don't Death Trooper and Krennic have the Rogue One tag as well?
Because they're Empire?
Dark side.
Yeah, Rogue One, it's, you know, when they say Rogue One, they mean not just the title of the movie, but the name of the crew and members of the team that went into, you know, Scarif to get the plans. Krennic and the Death Trooper and all them were on the other side trying to kill the Rogue One team. So I think that's why.
Yeah, like Rogue One heroes.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool to have Vader.
Well, that was the fake
One
call
tag.
sign, though, right?
Yeah.
When they asked him, you know, who are you guys? Oh, we're Rogue One.
Rogue.
You know.
Rogue One. Rogue One? Who's Rogue One?
Yeah. And then I was just watching episode 5 again last night. It was my favorite movie. Yeah, the Rogue 2 is the pilot that finds Captain Han and Luke in the snow. Like, I love that callback kind of, but it was before its time. You know what I mean? Like, that's an awesome twist.
All right. So next question we will throw to. Okay, so let me see, who should we give this to? You know what? I'll give it to Grim because I think you'll be able to answer this better. This is from Goosey Lucy Kabusi, and the question is: can you tell my husband he was being unrealistic to get CLS in 4 months of starting his account?
Yeah, here's an easy way to do it. Hide his wallet.
Word.
Because the only way he's going to be able to do it is if he forks over cash.
Straight cash, homie. All right. Next question we'll give to Xylo. The question is from DJ Benvera. What's a better Jedi lead for heroic AAT, Kenobi or Qui-Gon Jinn? And what's a good squad for the first phase of heroic AAT?
I'd go with Imagundai counter and Ayla Secura, Barris or Luminara for a healer, and then Ahsoka and Anakin. It's a good counter team, gives some good damage. Anakin will get a lot of turn meter. Ahsoka will keep healing the team up as well. And it's a pretty easy beginner team too. I mean, I wouldn't say Kenobi because, it's more of synergy with clones other than Jedi, I'd say. And you're getting more health with Kenobi, but again, Imagundai would be a great lead because of the counter, and you're getting your quick damage input, and if you're in a smaller guild, you're doing your part in a sense by throwing that counter Jedi team in for the phase 1.
Oh, that's one of the sync teams, isn't it?
Yeah, it was before the Kenobi sync came out because, Kenobi sync isn't his lead, it's Imagundai again, and then you throw GK, First Order pilot, the original First Order pilot, Darth Maul, and then the 5th has varied and changed a lot. You've seen like Pow, Sabine, people who can double tap on their basics, and then once you get Maul dazing the side troopers right away, then what you do is you use the retribution on Kenobi and give everybody the counter, and that starts tapping at Grievous over and over again because he's spamming his tactical buff that's allowing him to keep spamming the AoEs. And I'm sure everybody's seen it before, but just to kind of give everybody an idea of what it is. And again, you do have to have 7-star Kenobi too, and by that point you're already completing the heroic tank, so it's not extremely necessary at that point. You're just doing it to get your extra damage input, and at that point I'd recommend CLS.
All right. Next question. We'll throw it to give it to Loki because you have a lot of the Zetas. So the question from DJ Benvera is it safe to say 2 Zetas per faction can make a faction viable in most game modes?
I guess it could. You could. I mean, look at the Empire faction, right? If you run the EP lead, it really only needs the 1 Zeta for Palpatine lead. I'm kind of thinking who else you throw on that team, but maybe Nihilus Zeta and that's it. It could be pretty viable.
Scions too.
I don't know. I'm on the fence about Scion. I think if you put the Zeta on him, you can cheese that team with the Thrawn Magma Trooper team in Arena. So it's not that great. It's probably going to be viable when Traya comes out, but again, the jury's still out if she's going to be a good leader anyway. So, but I'm thinking, CLS, right? Only needs. Oh, you still need Han Solo. Maybe he needs Han Solo, and you need maybe his binds all things. That's still pretty viable. Not sure you really need R2 in that team. You can just run CLS, Han Solo, Chase, and maybe Captain Han or Old Ben or something, and it's still pretty viable. But yeah, it just seems like that they're going to be going to multiple Zetas soon. So I know the JTR team, you need 3-4 Zetas for that thing to run. Kylo Ren on Mass probably need 2 or 3. So Kylo Ren on Mass might be another. The crew team might be another good example. You really just need his lead, and then maybe First Order Stormtrooper or something like that, right? It helps a lot, but
right.
It helps, but it's not needed. Just Zeta Crew's lead and First Order rock.
Yeah. And like I just said too, like the arena is becoming, you need 3-4 Zetas on your PvP team that you're running, especially the one that you're leaving in on defense.
Yeah, even the Night Sisters. I got all the Night Sister Zetas myself, but
nice.
You still need everybody's unique. You need Mother Talzin's and you need Asajj Ventress for sure, and then maybe Ventress's lead. So that's still 3 Zetas right there.
Daka.
Yeah, Daka's extra. Daka's just like First Order Stormtrooper. or it's an extra, it's a filler to make the team that much more synergistic to each other.
If you run like a Rex hybrid team, you might be able to get away with it, but it's still nice to run like if you're gonna run Mother Talzin unique with like a Rex and then like GK. You probably still need 2 Zetas for that team as well. Maybe 3 if you run like Wampa or something, but yeah, I mean if you're gonna save Zetas, save 2 or 3 for now, and then something else will be coming along, so at least you'll be ready.
Right. Save them for Hux.
All right. Next question we'll give to
Or
Van
Snoke.
Seal.
Snoke will probably need 4. 2 for the top half, 2 for the bottom half.
That's awful. Zeta kick. All right. Next question is for Van Seal, and the question is from Bradzo SWGOH, and he asks, "Don't you miss the what's ahead?" So he's talking about the what's ahead hints that they would give us in the content updates.
I totally forgot about those. Yeah, okay. I do miss those because they could have said, "Hey, what's ahead?" CLS and JTR, hint, hint. But no, they didn't. Yeah, because I really don't know what to expect. I know the Sith raid, that was the big, that's like the last what's ahead that we got. But yeah, I think they do need to include that. I mean, whether they give us a big hint or a small hint, I mean, at least they do this the courtesy of at least confirming that there's stuff coming out soon, or the next update, or next month. But yeah, they should go back to including that in their patch notes.
Yeah, I miss being, theory crafting of who could it be.
Yeah, but last time they hinted at a Revan, and everyone farmed Sith Assassin and Sith Trooper, and then they didn't have what they needed for Jedi Training Ray. So,
hey, I warned everybody that watched the stream, but nobody listened.
We did too. We said that if you're going after the characters, you are doing it at a risk because nothing is guaranteed. But they are good characters
because they're good.
Yeah, you have to go after them because they're good. Next question, we'll give Loki. This is a question from you, from Keith Cosentino. And he said, Loki mentioned the C-3PO rumor, and I've been trying to think of what abilities he would have. One of them could be to bore you to death, right? So what could be potential abilities for C-3PO?
Translate how to kill him in one hit.
So, they have C-3PO in other games. And then in the past, there was, I mention it all the time. Before SWGOH, there was a game called Assault Team. You can probably still find it as a hacked APK and play it. It's a really fun game. It's another turn-based kind of attacking game. You make a squad and you attack. But C-3PO's in that game, and pretty much all that guy did was he had like he had his evasion rate was super high. So you couldn't hit him, and then he would just taunt, and then he would just take away turn meter. That's all his job was. So could they bring a mechanic like that into the game? I could totally see that coming.
Yeah.
He's just going to be super annoying. He's gonna deflect all the hits. He's going to taunt. He might have like an undispellable taunt, right? And then the guy probably doesn't die as long as like R2's alive or something. Or they could do something like that and have fun with it. But I don't see him as an attacker. I don't see him, I really don't see him other than just disruption. That's all he is. He's like another kind of like Hermit Yoda that doesn't have an attack. It could be his basic is he just does a taunt, right, or something like that. But they could totally introduce that kind of a character in the game. It'd be kind of fun.
Or they could give him like the stealth mechanic to kind of give some more synergy with R2, and then maybe something to cleanse and buff with like negative, Empire synergy or something like that for Rebels. Maybe something like that.
Guys, I have breaking news. I got the final 4 shards I needed for Rex ship. I no longer have to farm that turd.
Woo!
Woo! Yay!
Congratulations.
No more.
No.
What I could see C-3PO having is like the golden god in Force Collection.
Guy. Go,
Like-
guy.
When it, if C-3PO does not have foresight, he gains it. Any
one.
attacks that cannot be evaded, he can evade them.
That'd be a good one. Really unique.
That'd be awful.
Infinity's gonna like this idea.
If he doesn't have foresight, he has 100% evasion chance.
Wouldn't it be funny
Okay,
if he had like
bring
an
the dogs
Ewok
back.
leadership? Like his
Yeah, I was
leader
gonna say,
was
why
like.
can't he?
I was gonna say, if he had a leader ability where the Ewoks get like plus 250% offense and defense and crit chance and crit damage and all this stuff.
The cold god.
Yeah, just make him like
Yeah.
a BB-8 version for Ewoks.
That would be kind of cool.
All right.
What about an episode 7?
when he's active, the Ewoks gain the ability that Rancor has to eat target stormtrooper.
Oh. All right. So we have 2 around the corn questions here to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
So the first one, they're both from Alan. The first one is Rogue One was so much better than Last Jedi. Agreed? So around the corn, Rogue One or Last Jedi?
Rogue One.
Let's start with Vinci. Okay, so Ranger says Rogue One. Van Seal, what do you say?
Oh, Rogue One, of course.
Grim?
Definitely Rogue One.
Xylo?
I'll say Rogue One, but I'm going to elaborate a little more why. I mean, I didn't like the storytelling so much between The Last Jedi, and I liked a lot of the scenes out of The Last Jedi too, but the reason why I say Rogue One is because it was such a unique Star Wars movie. Like, it wasn't about the Jedi or the Sith, and it was kind of like a war movie as opposed to, what we've been accustomed to seeing in the movies. So that's why I say Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Yeah, for me, it was the Vader hallway scene.
God, one of the best things ever.
Oh, yes.
Like a horror movie.
He crunched them rebels down like nothing.
That happens to me a lot in Battlefront. I'll run into Vader in a hallway like that, and we're all sitting there, and it's like, open fire! No, he just blocks everything and force chokes me in the air, cuts me with a lightsaber, I'm dead, and then he's going after the rest of the crew.
I mean, I've been to all the Star Wars movies in the theaters.
Oh, yeah.
Rogue One was the only one where the entire theater, made some noise when they heard Vader come out.
I know, it's just, you're like, what the hell? And then
the
lightsaber comes on, and then you see the look in their face. It's just utter terror. And then they just scream, open fire! You messed up.
Plus, as a fan, like, going into that movie, you knew Vader was going to pop up at some point, and then the way that they squeezed it in and transitioned it into the beginning of A New Hope, great movie, great ending.
Yeah, that last 30 minutes of that movie is just incredible. I mean, love it. All right, last question.
Actually, there's 2 questions. Sorry.
You lied, Finn.
One more.
Liar!
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know, but you'll like the last question, I think. So now that the tits is away, the boys can play and we can answer this question. Alan asks, who was the hottest woman in any Star Wars film?
Carrie Fisher in that metal bikini.
Natalie Portman for me.
Jyn Erso.
Grin.
Ooh, Jyn Erso.
Okay, we got Jyn.
Erso, especially in the Imperial outfit.
Okay.
All right, Grim.
Yeah, if I had to choose from what's out right now, I'd say, of course, Slave Leia, Carrie Fisher, but I'm kind of also gravitating towards Kira in Solo. She's a little hottie, man.
Yeah, looked really good in The Last Jedi, too.
Mother of Dragon Scoundrels. All right. And Xylo?
Well, Carrie Fisher, of course, from episode 6. And then I also really liked, some of the looks to Rey in episode 8, too, as well. That was really cool.
All right. And Loki.
I'm with you with Natalie Portman, dude. She's still hot.
All right.
Not condone
there we go.
Of action that leads us to war.
All right.
Oh,
and then last question. Last question. This one is for Ranger, and it's for Force Master. From Force Master 77. And the question is, what's more deadly? Grande's chicken with a knife or Ranger on Battlefront 2?
I'm gonna have to go with the chicken. Although Finn, you missed it. I was kicking some ass at the end there. I've got Vincelli. He was watching it. I was doing pretty damn well.
Yeah,
What
he
happened?
was.
What?
What are we talking about, Ranger?
Battlefront 2.
What about it?
How I was doing way better. I was kicking some ass.
When?
You said it on the stream. You're such a dirty bastard.
Yeah, no, Ranger is getting a lot better. Now that he's got the blurg.
He's got it down pat. It's chuck a grenade at the beginning and throw yourself off the cliff, and then we'll win the match.
And it works every time. Like I died, guys. Oh, I threw a grenade. Oh, that's an automatic win both ways.
Yeah, the 3 steps to Ranger success are throw a grenade off the spawn.
Right.
Jump off on spawn.
Right.
And then after you do those 2, get to the Falcon.
Yeah, get to the Falcon.
Oh yeah.
And then lots of melee. That one guy trying to melee us to death yesterday was funny as hell.
He had it out for you. He did not. He wanted to. I mean, I don't know. Some people
I hate Smurfs was really after being true yesterday. He was coming at us with a vengeance, man. Oh my god. He kept trying to kill True as a Wookiee, and I could. What's going on? Like, here's a good idea. You shoot the Wookiee? Nah, I'm gonna go fight it. I'm like, what? Oh. Yes, if you want to be successful in Battlefront, don't do what I do. So, that's all the questions, Finn?
That's it.
All right. And speaking of Battlefront, since we end the stream, me and Vincelli, we're still trying to figure out the point system and stuff. So we're going to do some more Battlefront 2 streaming right after this. So if you want to check that out, you're more than welcome. I know Finn, you've just been doing the PC thing, but Finn, you're going to bed, aren't you?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Remember tomorrow, guys, we've got the lunch stream from 12 to 1, and then I'm going to do another mega Battlefront 2 stream. I'm sure Finn might join me later on to do PC version, to where you can join either one of us. We had the dual camera thing going today, didn't we, Finn?
Yeah, we had it today. I don't know about tomorrow because I do have some afternoon meetings, so I won't be able to get that out at the start. But
later in the afternoon, later night, that kind of thing, right? Yeah, that's totally understandable. But if you would like to join us, of course, you are more than welcome to. You just need Skype, and you need the game on either the PC version when Finn's playing or the Xbox version. Eventually, we'll get a PlayStation, guys. That's next on the to-do list. It is on our wish list, right? Maybe some sugar mama will hook us up, Finn. I don't know. Finn, go get a sugar mama. Damn it, you're a doctor, Finn. Make this happen. Lie.
I got a Twinkie maker.
I mean, he's got a pork and a Twinkie maker, ladies. Buy the PlayStation. I don't know who sent us the green screen. We got that off the wish list. I didn't even know that was on there. Finn put it on there, but I got a package the other day. So whoever you are out there, there's a name on it, but I don't know if that's a real name, and I don't want to say it over the air because I don't have any verification, so I don't want to just say someone's name without permission. But thank you, whoever got us the green screen. That was very nice of you. We don't ask for this stuff. You guys do this out of your goodness of your heart, and that's why we love you guys so much. You guys are so generous and so kind, and we appreciate all your support in any form. It doesn't have to be monetary. Anybody that watches us, anybody that gives us a thumbs up, anybody that subscribes to the channel, that supports us, and every little bit helps, and we really appreciate it. So, we got the stream tomorrow. We got the streams coming up on the weekend. Got a lot of good stuff. I'm going to see about getting T Money wanted me to do KOTOR for the stream on Saturday. So I'm going to look into that. So we'll see about me playing Knights of the Old Republic, the original version, while we stream on Saturday night as the RSG Mature stream. Because I don't think she's ever seen it, and she's really into the lore now. I've been having her do homework. So that'll be kind of cool. Remember, you can call us on the line if you want to have a question answered. You just heard 2 people ask questions, and we were able to do it through the phone call. The line is there. It's RSG4Revan. The number's there on the screen. Also, we got the merchandise store. If you want to get some swag, you can do that. Come into our Discord and pimp your RSG stuff. And Finn, you're creating a montage of that stuff, right?
Yeah, so the channel has all the images and stuff. They're all pinned. So if you go into the Discord and you look at the pinned messages, we'll eventually
play something on the stream to show off.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll put it with some Titanic music, and everyone can get a nice cry out of it. You know, something fun.
Speaking of the Discord, if you have questions that we didn't get to tonight, we've got a great community of people in our Discord. Come check it out. Great group of people, great group of individuals that will help you with your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes or Battlefront or Diablo or whatever else that we're into. That's what it's there for. It's just to hang out. This is the whole point of this, is just to hang out with people we like and have a good time. That's what it's all about. So we will see you guys on the Battlefront stream right after this, and then we will see you tomorrow for the RSG lunch stream at 12 to 1. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe, guys. It really helps out. And if you'd like to donate off stream, you can go to the donate to the support the channel on the YouTube homepage. Yes, it says RSG and then my name, but that's because that's the only way you can set it up. People keep asking me that, but that's how you can donate us directly, not through YouTube. But if you're here, you can sponsor us while you're watching it. There's a sponsor button up top, and there's also the sponsor or the super chat function on the bottom. So I think that's it. So I think that's everything. Anybody want to pimp anything? We've been pimping people stuff all day. Grim, Xylo, anything you want to say real quick?
See you on the Battlefront stream.
Word. Xylo, anything you want to pimp?
Just putting in a lot of work on the Sith Raid, trying to get some good, valuable content on the channel going for you guys. That's why it's been taking a little bit. I do have something for Phase 2 with Troopers and Thrawn on there, but that's something I'm kind of just showing for film. I'm going to have a roadmap overall, though, in general, what teams run where, and I'm trying to give you guys as much information as I can, so I'm trying to make sure everything comes out smooth. And if you guys like what you see so far, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And RSG is awesome, man. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Lucy's asking, where do I watch you play? You can just stay on the RSG channel. It'll pop up as we haven't got the event set up, but we'll put Finn's gonna create that here in a second, right? And it'll pop up if you subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, it'll be on this channel. Just come to the YouTube channel, and it'll be on the main page here in about probably 5 minutes when I get the event up.
All right. So come join us there. We're just going to hang out, play. You're going to see me get slaughtered. It's what I do. But it's a good time. So we'll play for a couple hours. We're just trying to figure out this point system. It's really thrown us for a loop. But thanks, everybody. Thank you, Xylo. Thank you, Grim. Thank you, Dr. Finn, for being on here. Thank you, Sir Loki. Thank you, Vincelli. Thank you for being on, my Battlefront partner. We're about to go switch over sides. So everybody have a great rest of your night. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody be safe. We'll see you tomorrow for the lunch stream or whenever we see you. So take care, peace, and be safe.